Hey everyone, welcome to another Infinite Binge. We are talking about Stranger Things Season 2. Actually, they just call it Stranger Things 2. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
just
going to do from now
Stranger
on.
Things 2.
We are discussing Chapter 4, Will the Rise. I'm Jake, and who else is here?
Kevin?
And Andrew. It's Will the Wise, not Will the Rise.
Did I say Rise? I meant
I
to say
think
Wise.
I thought you said Rise.
Maybe I was just trying to get a
Uh,
rise out of you.
but so
Uh,
how's it
so some
going?
things happened in this episode, guys.
Yeah, it's we get to pick up off the cliffhanger from last time.
Yeah. Should we just jump into it?
I think we should because Joyce is acting like she's in the Indianapolis 500,
Yeah, she's speeding.
like big time.
I
But
don't think
Yeah,
Will,
Hopper would give her a ticket, though. He'd be alright with it.
I never speed. I don't like this bad influence. I might speed later now.
Are
you're
you
such a
gonna...
liar.
You need to give her car, too. What car does she have?
It looks
Is
like
that a
a
gremlin?
It looks like a gremlin, or I can't tell if it's a gremlin or if it's a pacer or something.
Whatever it is, it's a cool car.
That puke baby shit green color.
Oh yeah, so Joyce rushes to the school, and then she's like saying, "Where's Will? Where's Will?" And then they find him out in the field, but he's just frozen. He's stuck there because it keeps flashing between what they see and then what's actually happening to him. So it's cut between like the smoke monster invading him, and then him just frozen in the field with nobody really knowing what's happening. And then Joyce takes, well, she snaps him out of it, or I guess it finishes invading him, and then she takes him home,
Yeah, and
and he
she's
does.
yeah, and
And
she
he opens up about everything, and I felt like this was some pretty good acting from Will in this scene,
oh, absolutely.
and he says it's like a feeling. And he still feels it. It didn't go away this time.
Which kind of makes me really think that where we were positing before about what it was doing to him, I feel like it really is like this time it has possessed him.
Yeah,
And then the next scene, Elle returns home and she's in deep shit, or is Hopper in deep shit?
She's in deep shit.
is
Well,
she?
is she? I'm pretty sure that if she really wanted to,
It's a
she
little
could.
of both. It's a little of both.
It's kind of. So L, Hopper is like L is grounded, and then or it says to L that she's grounded. My note here is L isn't grounded, but she has like this major tantrum and basically wrecks the place.
Yeah, he Hopper tries to take the TV, and she's not having it. He's like, "Let go, let it go." He's like, "Oh yeah," and then he just rips the wire.
I like he did the classic, oh, did I say like you're grounded for a week? It's 2 weeks.
It's a month.
I felt like Hopper. I understand he was angry, but he was handling that situation poorly.
Well, you could tell that there were times where he wanted to, like not only now but kind of later, where he wanted to do kind of the more compassionate thing, but he doesn't. Or I don't even want to say compassionate, but he kind of wants to back down a little bit, but he does. But he doesn't.
He needs to be walking on eggshells around 11.
Well, I feel like that's part of the reason he doesn't, though. It's because if he doesn't, then no one else will. So then if she does go out one of these days, she'll just be a criminal like that girl from the first episode doing whatever she wants. You know?
Yeah, but Elle is clearly kind of unstable, which is
That's
understandable given how she was raised.
well, and kind of. I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin, because it's like we've not seen any more of the. We're like coming up on halfway through the season, and we've not seen like any of the other people anymore. We've not seen Kali Ma. But then kind of cuts back to the buyers, and Jonathan comes home, and it's real quiet, and he's looking for everyone, and finds Joyce in Will's room lying down with him, and they're sleeping.
Then what happens, Kevin?
And then I believe it cuts to Nancy, back to Nancy, talking to her mom, saying she was going to spend the night at Stacy's, where they're going to gossip and have a girls' night and all that. And Andrew had put a note here. Her mom has got it going on because Stacy's mom.
I
Okay.
get it.
Guy, you remember that? Remember that song?
Do you know who it was by?
Fountains of Wayne.
Of Wayne. Yep.
Yeah, which they named it after a place, like a place, like an actual place called, I think, called Fountains of Wayne in Wayne, New Jersey.
Oh, nice. But yeah, then after that, Nancy meets up with Jonathan in his car, and they're taking off to go on their mission.
Yeah, they're gonna go talk to Barb's mom in the park.
Yeah, and from there, cut back to Joyce, still trying to get in touch with Hopper. At this point, calling a bunch. He's nowhere to be found. And Will is kind of still acting weird. So she, checks to see if he's sick or something. And so she puts the thermometer in his mouth, take his temperature. And he has a temperature like 95, which...
It's a bit cold.
Yeah, that's not good. And she asks, like, oh, are you feeling cold? And he's like, no, I feel okay. So, something definitely not right after, being smoked.
Yeah, and then Joyce is filling up the bathtub to warm him up. All right, that's what she starts to do, and then it cuts away.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it cuts to Dustin feeding Dart. Still disappointed in Dustin.
Yeah, disappointing. Very disappointing.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
I'm a little mad. He should know better.
He should.
Friends don't lie.
That's true. So Lucas, Mike, and Max are searching for Dart still. Lucas is in the dumpster, like totally in it.
Like, this is the point where it's like, okay, this has gone too far. Like, at this point, Dustin should have said something. Like, I mean, this is like the end. Like, either say something now or nothing ever.
And he doesn't. I feel like Mike should have maybe done a little more. Like, since he knows that his house is being bought, he should just picked up the phone and said, "We found a baby monster," and then hung up. But he didn't, so they're still looking for 4 hours for Dart. Then it cuts back to Will and Joyce. And then Mr. Clark is talking about fear. Like, as over the top of Will. As he's approaching the warm water. And he's like sweating and showing all the signs of fear. And then he says no, he likes it cold. Because he drains the bathtub and tells Joyce, well, we need to get your temperature up. And he said, no, he likes it cold. Which is real ominous.
Oh, yeah. No bueno.
And then what happens, Andrew?
Yeah, it kind of comes back to Hopper. And I think this is where I don't think Hopper likes being the hard ass. But he kind of gets ready to go to work. And kind of Flo wants him to talk to Joyce, who was already called 8 times.
That's many times.
This many times. It's like he gets into his truck and he's like, "Yes, I know what time it is. Yes, I know I'm late." He's just kind of you can tell he's kind of at his wits' end. He needs help. I guess I would assume being a single parent is hard. Being the single parent of someone with superpowers would be even more so.
Yeah.
But then it kind of cuts to Billy being Billy, and they're playing basketball in school. And yeah, like Billy tells Steve to take the charge and things like that.
Yeah, and then it showed them like in the shower. And it was the guy from the Jerk Squad from the first season and Billy, and they were talking to Steve. And I got real worried that Steve might join up in this new super jerk squad. Because good guy Steve is too good for them. He needs to leave the Jerk Squad alone.
Yeah. Good guy Steve now. And it seems he's going to stay that way, at least for a little bit.
I think this Billy guy might be a bad influence on him.
Oh, he's definitely a bad influence, that's for sure.
So then we have Nancy and Jonathan at the park. And they're kind of trying to look around at everyone. Trying to figure out who is from the DOE, I assume. So they decide to... They get spooked and they leave. They take off.
And or they try to take off.
They try to take off.
Yeah, the car doesn't start.
Yeah, the car stalls. And then they get surrounded by, like, people. like just plain clothes people. Like there's one in front of them, one behind them, and one on each side.
Yeah, as soon as the car doesn't start, there's a tap on the window. Says, I see you're having car trouble. You need a ride?
It's like AAA.
That's good service. They didn't even have to call anybody.
Yeah, people are just nice in Indiana.
Well, we call that Hoosier hospitality. It's literally a thing.
Are you like a miniature version of Canada?
Don't you know?
No, you don't have abundance of maple syrup.
No, but we get our stuff at the local grocery store.
But anyways, so after they get surrounded, cuts back to Hopper showing up at the buyer's house, and Joyce kind of lets him know what's going on, and then they're sitting with him trying to get him to explain, I guess, and he has extra memories, but they're now memories. In my mind, it's basically like he's just seeing the whatever the Fessel Hydra thing is seeing, kind of, but he can't really explain it. And then Joyce sees one of his drawings up on their little bulletin board thing, and she's like, "Oh, let's have him draw it."
What if you didn't have to use words?
I like the note that was added here that says he can't explain it except through the power of art, which is true. And he goes to town, gets the black crayon, the purple,
the blue,
and then that's about it. Those are like the only 3 colors.
That's all you need. What more would you possibly need?
Yeah, but he starts going ham on those papers. And then cut back to the rest of the Googers. Mike calls a party member only meeting in the AV room, and I
feel bad for Max.
Yeah, she's upset because it's she wants to be a part of it, and then you got Grumblepuss Mike over here, not letting that happen.
Well, they can't tell anybody about what's happening.
I guess, but there are so many people who know. What's one more?
Yeah, but what if she told Billy?
Yeah,
Billy would try to.
He wouldn't even listen to her. Let's be real here. He'd just be like, "Shut up," and be an asshole, and then she'd cry or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, they're talking about all, Dart and stuff, and still using their D&D equivalences. And I forget, is it Mike who's like, "This isn't D&D," or one of them says that. Yeah, but then he kind of, Mike's still trying to hammer home that, Dart is something from this. And, one way or the other, he's related to the Upside Down, be it if he can help or not.
And then it cuts back to Elle, and she's cleaning up, using her mind powers to lift up bookcases and stuff.
This kind of reminds me of like the Sorcerer's Apprentice or the Magician, whatever, where Mickey Mouse gets the
Fantasia.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's in Fantasia, but it's like I think the thing is actually called like the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, that scene is also in the movie The Sorcerer's Apprentice, starring Nicolas Cage.
That was an okay movie.
Jay Baruchel was the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
That's right.
That's a movie. But anyway, she finds a trap door, and there's a bunch of boxes, and she starts taking them out. And she finds one called Hawkins' Lab.
Dun dun dun.
Speaking of which, cut to Nancy and Jonathan at Hawkins' Lab, and Burke is like, "Look, mistakes have been made, but all those guys that made those mistakes, they're all dead now. I'm in charge. I'm not going to make any of these dumb mistakes.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I am the captain now."
Then did it show them with the flamethrowers, or did it cut to?
Yeah, it shows him kind of explaining, which we had said earlier when we were trying to figure out. So, Jake, you and I were both kind of right, where I was right in that they want to close the door, but they have no way of closing it anymore. And then you were right in that it is spreading, and so the flamethrowers to try and stop the spreading.
Yeah, keep it up. He said it's like weeds, so they have to kill all the weeds.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take over. They're not doing a good job.
Nope.
Yeah, and then it cuts to Joyce and Hopper, and they have all the drawings that Will has done, and they're like, "These don't make any sense." And then
it's the same thing over and over again.
Look, the lines, they connect. And then they put them all together, and it makes a bunch of more lines, and it's all kind of gibberish until Hopper figures out what it is. It's vines. And then he rushes out of the place. Then it cuts to Max being fed up. She's had it. She's out of the party.
Oh, by the way, Lucas still stinks.
He was all the way in that dumpster. He wasn't just like reaching in. He was all the way in
He
there.
was getting in it.
But yeah, Lucas was trying to convince her to like stick around. But she was just mad because she's like, you want me to be in the party, but then you keep kicking me out.
What is this, second grade?
And then she meets up with Billy, and Billy's like, so who was that? And then it wasn't overt racism, but it seems like he's super racist.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. I was like, what? Why? Because he's black? Like, Lucas is the bomb.
Yeah, Lucas is great.
He doesn't like his friends.
He's probably the second best Goosier behind Dustin.
Think about all the stuff from the first season that he had from Nam.
He had the wrist rocket.
And the monster killer. So I think it was at this point in time I was like, so I think there's definitely a connection between Billy and Max and the new people at Hawkins Lab.
You think so?
I think that I would give it like a 95% chance.
So you think Max
I can see that.
Max is connected? Because
What?
Billy was saying, we're not here because of me. We're here because of you.
Maybe she's number 12.
Well, or maybe like if maybe they're there because of one of their parents / step-parents. Because I assume at this point that they're step siblings.
I was going to say maybe they're Burke's kids.
That was kind of the thing that I was wondering, but...
Nah, in my mind, I still think it might be like just an orphan kind of situation. Like they both came from the same orphanage or something. They've just been like paired up.
Yeah, but then why would Billy be like, we're here because of you?
Because they could have been, maybe they were at another house.
But why would they go from? They would stay inside of Indiana or inside of California. They wouldn't go from California to Indiana.
That's true.
Witness protection.
What if they're Brenner's real kids?
Maybe. What I don't know why, but I get the impression that maybe they're somehow tied to that group that we saw in the beginning of the season. That we've only seen once.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
The bank robbers or whatever, they were robbing a bank, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So Andrew, what happened next?
So then we have Hopper going out to dig up the pumpkin patch because he's looking for vines.
Right.
So this is kind of where before when they were going down, like they were basically kicking dirt off they were kicking off topsoil. And so Hopper's gonna dig until he finds something, or he gets to like the Indian Ocean. But Elle is still searching through the files, and she comes across Terry Ives' file. And so she does her thing where she does the static, but she does the static with the radio this time. And she goes out and she tries to find Terry. And she finds her. When Elle tries to touch her hand, Terry disappears.
She like disintegrates.
Well, and then right before it too, when she's haunting her, because Terry is like in her state she's in, but when Elle's there, she opens her eyes and it looks like she has, she's kind of back to her own. She goes, Jane.
Yeah, so that's 11's real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then touches and...
So, when she touched the Demigorgon in the first season, that's what opened up the tear, right?
Oh, I think so.
So did she just kill her mother when she touched her?
Who knows?
Or what if she opened up another tear? Or what if she sucked her mother into the Upside Down?
Well, when she touched the Demigorgon was in the Upside Down, so it opened up the tear. What happened? But
time and
they
space.
were in the same dimension.
Time and space. Time and space wormhole. Yeah.
I don't know why I get the impression that she just killed her.
Maybe the fact that she's like, maybe it's not nearly that bad. Maybe she just lost the connection. Maybe touching her loses the connection.
I think it's a good thing she wasn't able to touch Mike when she was haunting him. I also could be reading way too much into this.
Her mom also could have been so overcome with seeing her daughter, and then she dies, and that's just her dying in that plane.
It could be.
A lot of questions, not many answers.
We'll probably find out.
Maybe. We'll see.
Kevin, why don't you go ahead and take us home?
Will do. So, from there, go back. Mike shows up at the buyer's house trying to see, he wants to see Will, find out what's going on. And then Joyce is trying to be like, he's just not feeling well, trying to push him out. And as he starts going away, he mentions the, shadow monster. And then she's like, oh, what? And then it cuts away. Because she knows. Now she knows he knows. Everyone knows.
So it looks like the Googers are calling it the Shadow Monster, not the Vessel Hydra like we had thought.
We'll see.
But anyway, it then goes back to Nancy and Jonathan, who are leaving the DOE. And after they leave the facility, she pulls out the tape recorder she was hiding and starts replaying some of the clips. And she said, let's burn that lab to the ground. And I wanted to high-five her.
How stupid are these guys?
We've established that these people are very stupid.
Very.
The answer is very.
But he's a scientist, don't forget.
They're the most incompetent people of all time.
Even the stuff that they're supposed to be good at, they're not good at.
No. Even the new, smarter scientist guy that they got to replace the other one is still super dumb.
The flamethrower guy seems okay. Everyone else, not so much. Flamethrower guy, he does his job and he does a damn good job of it.
Does he?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like something is happening.
I'm not convinced, considering what we find out in a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
Given that he's supposed to be burning away all the stuff to stop it from spreading.
Yeah, true. But then after that, and they're leaving the town, so they're going to Indianapolis or something, probably. Who knows?
They're going to go call 6 for help.
Yeah.
Shout out to people in Indianapolis who remember call 6 for help.
Then after that, we go back to Dustin comes home, and his mom's like, I can't find the cat. And he's just kind of brushes over. He's like, yeah, whatever. I forget what he says, but then he goes into his room, and he's excited to see Dart. Pulls off the little sheet he had put over the cage, and there's a broken glass, and Dart's not in there. And you know what's coming when this happens. Missing cat, monster.
And you start hearing a noise.
Hearing a noise.
Yeah.
You kind of start seeing some spots and stuff.
Yeah, and then of course there's Alf. Guys, remember Alf?
Yeah, I do. Alf was great.
Yeah,
I almost spoiled a modern TV show. I'm glad I caught myself.
Well, he finds the cat. Unfortunately, it's kind of half eaten.
Yeah,
and Dart is currently eating it. And then he opens his mouth and it's a Demogorgon. So, good job, Dustin.
Turns out Grumblepuss Mike had the right idea.
Yeah, oh, yeah. We all knew he had the right idea.
That's why he's the leader of the group.
That's why he's Venkman.
Was Venkman the leader?
Not... Yeah, but no. Well, their party is not a dictatorship.
That's true.
Well, then after that, cuts away, and we close with Hopper digging. And boy, has he been digging. And my God, that man, his hands, I don't know what they're made of.
They'd be blistered. He would be
he's
passed
not
out
wearing
from
gloves.
Exhaustion.
He wouldn't have skin on his hands.
It would have taken him 40 hours to dig the hole he dug.
Yeah, because it's deep. And he does, so he keeps digging, and he does finally hit the vine, quote unquote, and keeps pushing through.
Yeah, and there's some ooze popping up out of it.
Yeah, and then it turns out it's a little bit bigger than a vine, because he goes inside and it's like a huge cave system or tunnel system.
I love this scene.
And yeah, it was a really cool closing where it starts playing the creepy music, and
Like he jumps down into the town or into the tunnel.
and yeah, it goes. It's him just standing there holding a flashlight, and the camera slowly turns upside down. End credit.
I love that scene.
Yeah, it was good. That was a really cool scene they did there. Yeah.
Roll credits.
I want to watch another episode.
Yeah, I definitely think that what's happened here is that by burning the stuff on the surface, it's kind of quote unquote evolved and it's forced it underground. So
yeah, it's I don't know if this season is as good as the first season so far, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's not like A+ 100% territory the way I kind of enjoyed that first season. But I mean,
Yeah.
we still have 5 episodes.
Yeah, we're only like halfway through, little under half.
Like yeah, just a slight under half. As soon as we watch the next one and do that, then we'll be able to really. I think we like within the next 2 episodes we should really have a good idea. I hope.
Yeah, that they really like hitting you with the '80s references in this show, though.
Oh man, totally. Shall we get on out of here?
Let's do it. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like us and subscribe and share us with your friends. Leave some comments. And also listen to the All Talk podcast where we talk about all the geek stuff. And also the Geek Box and Comic Conspiracy and Manga Machinations. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.